Historic visit to Qatar. He's currently at a state banquet in Lusail Palace, hosted by Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, after a day that's seen billions of dollars of deals signed between the two countries. Faisal Almudahka is editor-in-chief at Gulf Times. He's joining me from here in Doha. So thank you very much indeed for being with us. It has been a significant day for Qatar. It's a significant 4 days for the region as well, not least because, of course, of the deals that have been signed. It's not just about the economics. It's not just about the deals. It's about the raising the profile of the region itself, and of course all the additional benefits that the US gets by having a strong relationship with the region.
You know, it's a win-win situation. This region historically is a survival region, famous of trade. Remember, we don't have water here. Lack of water, lack of greenery. So our families are into trade, right? Traveling from India, so also open to the world. And talking about the deal today, so if we talk about the Boeing deal, it's a win-win situation. Remember, Qatar Airways is one of the top 5 airlines in the world. Hamad Airport has 40 million passengers this year and increasing. So think about it, we are not a startup airline, we are an emerging airline, and planes are in demand. Today, if even you want to buy the same amount of planes, Boeing will not have them because they have limited production with all the airlines' requirements. So I really think it's a win-win situation. Also, we were lucky. I think Qatar Airways were lucky because, President Trump have raised the tariff and some airlines canceled their order. So I think, it's a win-win situation. And if we can package that, and this is what good friends about, package that with economical, political benefit, that's even, the smartest way to do it.
The deals also include, I understand, a statement of intent that apparently, according to the White House, could lead to $38 billion in investment at Qatar's Al Udeid air base. Now, I should just, for the benefit of viewers, explain Al Udeid is the biggest US military base outside the US, and it's based here in Qatar. What does that tell us about the relationship, the deepening of the security relationship between the United States and Qatar?
Remember, you are in a region that produces 1/3 of the energy of the world, between crude oil and between LNG. So it's really a very important area, and historically it was also a very important area. Security doesn't come free. We are a small nation, and we live in a very challenging area. So I think really this is even tying up the relationship, because if you think about it, even American companies have invested in fields here in Qatar and even in neighboring countries. So it's part of also, economic and security and sustainability and peace. That's what are we missing in the area, outside our area. So if that chain, sustainability and the peace comes with it, it's going to be one of the, this story will be even bigger.
I want you to stay with me just for a second, Faisal, because, of course, Qatar and the region's influence when it comes to negotiations, not least because of in areas of conflict, have been proven in the past. And we understand that US President Donald Trump's special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, met an Israeli delegation in the presence of Qatari officials in Doha on Tuesday. According to sources, Witkoff also met family members of captives still being held in Gaza on Wednesday. Earlier, Witkoff had told our diplomatic editor, James Bays, that discussions on Gaza have been positive.
Is this about the humanitarian delivery or about another ceasefire?
It's about all of it.
So how hopeful are you of another ceasefire?
I'm hopeful that we're just going to do good things for people here. That's what I'm hopeful for.
And on the other thing, if you don't mind me asking, in terms of what might happen in Istanbul, any news of whether President...
I'm equally hopeful there too.
You think President Putin will turn up on Thursday?
Oh, I don't know about that, but I'm going to turn up, and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, will be there, and we're there to participate in a peace process.
And what would you say right now, given all these efforts, just make it very clear for us, to the people of Gaza right now who are suffering? There is imminent famine according to the UN, there are children dying, there are women dying. What would you say to the people of Gaza right now?
I'd say it's a tragic situation, and we're here to make it better, and I think we're going to accomplish that.
I want to take us back to Faisal Almudahka, the editor of Gulf Times. We heard there Steve Witkoff being optimistic about a variety of different subjects, not least about the possibility of a ceasefire in Gaza. Now, I was talking to our diplomatic editor, James Bays, who did the interview, and he was saying one has to be cautious, if you like, about the optimism of Steve Witkoff, because he's optimistic about everything. Nevertheless, diplomacy means choosing your words very carefully. What's your assessment of what Steve Witkoff has been saying?
It's to me? Sorry?
Oh, Faisal, my apologies. The line may have dropped out there. I was just referring back to the statements that we were hearing from Steve Witkoff, the US Special Envoy to the Middle East.
No, I don't think Steve Witkoff is... He's a genuine guy, and he mean what he said, and he he had a breakthrough on the old deal that was happening in Qatar, and it was the Israeli who backed up. And even when he came in power, or he was in charge, he didn't. It was even the deal before that he activated. So I think, I believe it is not. I believe he's a genuine guy, and he's optimistic, and he's realistic, Orko, because enough is enough. I mean, you report just now what's happening in Gaza. I mean, is this really friends of America, the president of the United States here in the area, and this is what they do? I mean, what benefit? What friction? If Israel wants to really integrate to the region, what good example we can give to our families or our children? I mean, I really feel sorry for the Israeli people and for the Palestinian people, because this is a no life to live with, to tell you the truth. So, he's realistic, and he have delivered. But the Israelis have backed out last time.
Faisal, I'm going to interrupt you there, if you don't mind. I want to take our viewers back to pictures from Lusail Palace's complex, just north of Doha, here where the Emir of Qatar is hosting a dinner for US President Donald Trump, who's on day 2 of a 4-day trip to the Middle East. The Emir has just been speaking, a speech of welcome, I understand, and now the American national anthem is being played. As I say, you're watching Al Jazeera. It's 18:49 GMT. I want to go back to Faisal Almudahka, editor-chief at Gulf Times, who's been with us, talking about this visit by Donald Trump to the Middle East. Faisal, we were talking there about the impact of the negotiation ability that countries within the Middle East have established over many decades. They have deep relations with a variety of different countries. I want to ask you about, to what benefit do you think that would be to the US, particularly if we are seeing this deepening of the relationship?
I mean, the benefit of Qatar, I will say first, the benefit of Qatar is in our proposition. I always quote our proposition in the mediation. Because of our size and our pragmatic approach. Yeah, it's with our pragmatic approach. I think, with our ally, with America, we understand the region It's our
Please,
region. We
interrupting
understand.
you again. Donald Trump, US President,
No
is
problem.
speaking at that dinner, and we'll listen.
Sure. I don't know you have 400 people. That's an honor to know so many of those really great people. I want to thank His Highness Sheikh Tamim and First Lady. Thank you very much. Really a great honor. For the beautiful welcoming, and this is a home. This is a serious home. I will tell you that. There's nothing like it. So it's just a perfect evening to meet so many people that I didn't know, to say hello to so many people that I did know. And it's a true privilege to visit your country, special country, and gather as friends. It's a majestic palace indeed, which must be among the most elegant anywhere in the world. I don't think I've seen anything like it. But I said them all. I want to recognize the Prime Minister who's done a fantastic job, His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed, whom I was honored to host at the White House for dinner last month. Tonight, Qatar has returned the favor with unbelievable splendor and warmth. I'm honored to be the first American president ever to officially visit your great country. It's a great honor for me, especially since I've known the incredible gentleman on my left for a long time, longer than I've been in politics. I knew him then, and I said, this guy's going to make it someday. And I guess I was right, but I've known him a long time. He's been my friend for a long time, and it's a real honor. I didn't know that I was going to be president, and I didn't know how successful he'd be, and what he's done with this incredible piece of land, this beautiful piece of land, what he's done is incredible, unthinkable. So we were both in a much different position long ago, and it's been a lot of fun for me to see him rise. I also thank him and the other Qatari government leaders who have joined us, and let me say to my chief of staff, a very, very special person. She is considered the most powerful woman on earth. If you know her, you would know that anyway. The most powerful woman, but she's really one of the greatest people you'll ever meet. Susie Wells, I want to say happy birthday to you, Susie. Happy birthday. As I said in my address to the region last night, so you're ready, the transformation that has taken place here in the Gulf, with Gulf nations, has been extraordinary, nothing less than extraordinary. As Qatar's development has been among the greatest of them all. Nobody's seen anything like it. Your country now stands as a hub of global commerce, acts as a key diplomatic force on the world stage, and has even hosted the World Cup. People said, oh, the World Cup is going, and by the way, Johnny's here, so that's what he's Johnny. Congratulations, Johnny, because you're going to be with us next. He's coming to the United States, actually. Thank you. Great job you do, Johnny. The Emir is building a stunning legacy of economic progress, engineering marvels, what I've seen is incredible, and cultural attainment that should make this entire nation so very, very proud. They are proud. Our friends that live there, they're so proud. You only have to look at the shimmering skyline of Doha, or the beautiful waterfront promenade, which I just looked at a little while ago. There wasn't a tree out of place in this burn. To understand Qatar's amazing path to modernization and prosperity, and you've done it all while honoring your heritage. You've always stayed with your heritage. You haven't given it up, maintaining your culture, embracing your national traditions. To the Emir, to the royal family, and to this entire nation, congratulations on a spectacular job. Well done. Congratulations, really something. As you can see from the extraordinary range of leaders and pioneers in this room, the biggest people on earth, most successful people, most powerful people. Everyone wants to come and witness what is happening right here. As president, I'm proud our growing friendship is blossoming into a full-fledged economic and security partnership, as we've seen clearly on this trip, because we're setting records on this trip. We're bringing a lot of investment back into the United States of America. It's coming back at levels never seen before. Never seen anything like it. In 2 months, we've done more than anybody. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's ever been anything close. And that means into any country. In addition to our agreement that will lead to the $1.2 trillion in economic activity before we even start about the big Boeing deal and all of the other deals that we talked about today. We're pleased to supply your military with billions and billions of dollars in brand new equipment, and we're going to get a glimpse of some of it tomorrow morning at your military base, which is incredible, by the way. Earlier today, we were honored by the escort of 8 F-15s from your Air Force, and I will say that I asked the pilot of Air Force One, do we need them? And he gave me a bad answer. He said, well, I'd rather have them. That wasn't really the answer I was looking for. He said, no, this is just fun. This is just fun and games. He didn't say that. But here we are. But they are something. We're looking out the window. Everybody was amazed. It's a little disconcerting when you see a plane that goes 2,000 miles an hour. We're actually going 500 miles an hour as a string of the plane. But you look at it, you can read the pilot's name on his helmet. And it's pretty close. But they were great. They were great pilots. And it's fitting that you have chosen the mighty Falcon as a symbol of your nation, representing dignity and strength. That's what the Falcon represents. Our Qatari partners showed that spirit last weekend when you helped negotiate the release of the last living American hostage in Gaza, Alexander. Hopefully this is a stepping stone for getting the rest of the hostages back. But that was something that you really did help us a lot. Steve Woodcock and Marco Rubio here. I want to thank you, Steve, Marco, and Scott, Howard, everybody was involved. Put a lot of hostages back. They've all been involved. You're also working with us very closely with respect to negotiating a deal with Iran, which is the far friendlier course that you would see. 2 courses, there's only 2 courses. There aren't 3 or 4 or 5, there's 2. There's a friendly and a non-friendly. And the non-friendly is a violent course, and I don't want that. I'll say it up front, I don't want that. They have to get moving. I hope the Iranian leaders understand that what you're doing, really what you're doing for them is a big favor. Your Prime Minister, your great leader, right here on my left, has been helping so much, and they respect them and they're listening to them. But they have to get moving, and we both understand it. They have to make that decision. It's their decision, because we want to see Iran do well, thrive, be successful, and everybody be happy. I know many Iranians living in New York and Washington, D.C. They're great people, and we want to have this end peacefully, not horribly. So I just want to thank Your Highness for that act of help. But we're really helping the region, we're helping the world, we're helping your country, and we'll try and get it done. If we can, we're going to try and get it done. They have to move quickly, and I just hope Iran realizes what a good friend they have right here. And in a certain sense, I guess I'm a good friend, because a lot of people would rather have me take a much more harsh road. But I know that if we can avoid that road, that would be a great thing. I'd like to do that. This is an exciting time in America. As you know, it's really exciting. As you're hearing and seeing after years of recruiting shortfalls into the military enlistment, has now reached the highest point in probably history, but definitely 30 years, including for police and firefighters. But our military, we have the highest recruitment we've ever had. And just about a year ago, you read headlines that people weren't joining the military. We had a lot of empty spaces that we had to fill, and we weren't able to fill them. And it's a pretty great thing when just in a short period of of time, just a little short period of time, we went from not having people wanting to serve in our military, Army, Air Force, just like the Army and the Air Force in particular. I don't know what was going on. Navy, Marines, how about Space Force, Coast Guard, all great, but we couldn't get them, and now we have waiting lists to get in. So something happened, and I'll tell you what happened. It was called November 5th, where I won on behalf of everyone. I won on behalf of the people with common sense, the people that want to have a great country, the people with strength and intelligence. I won all 7 swing states, the popular vote by millions and millions of votes, the electoral college 312 to 226. Remember there was well, he might get to 270. Well, we got to 270, but we got to 312 actually. We had a great day and great evening. But very importantly, we were in the counties throughout the United States, 2,660 to 451. That's why when you see the maps, they're all bright red, red meaning Republican. So that was really something. There's a spirit going on in our country that we haven't seen in many, many years. But from that moment on, our country has taken in commitments. We think it's probably Scott is here, and Howard's here, Commerce. Secretary of Treasury, Scott has been great. Howard's been great, but I think these numbers are maybe making them look better than they're supposed to be looking. Where are they? Howard, where are you? There's Howard. Stand up, Howard. Now, where's Scott? Why you're not too far away. He's become a big star. You know, every time he goes on television, everything goes up. And sometimes they say it more forcefully, but he shouldn't do what I'm telling him. Because every time he goes, he's really considered one of the great gurus, one of the great geniuses in markets and understanding markets. And he does understand the market. And he also understands that we took on a terrible situation that was left to us by a prior administration. And within a short period of time, I think we're in great shape. I think we're one of the most, maybe the most talked about. We are the most talked about country anywhere in the world. We're really, and this is in a short period of time. This is during really 100 days, a little more than 3 months. And let's say the first month doesn't count because for the first months I wanted to fix up the old office, make it look really nice. So just in a couple of short months, we're taking in numbers that nobody ever thought possible. I don't think there's ever been anything like it in any country. And certainly there hasn't been an earnings, so we'll be well over $10 trillion. And I want to thank Your Highness for helping with that number. It's a big contribution. But you know you can count on us, and you know that it's going to be a great investment for you. It's been a great investment over the years. So tonight, let us give thanks for the blessings of this friendship. We have a great friendship, our country and your country, added to by our friendship. And in keeping with the title of your national anthem, I want to wish peace to the Emir and to all Qataris. Working together, we can help the entire region unlock its potential. You have unbelievable potential here. Such great, such rich land, such beautiful, magnificent. It's just a magnificent place. And you're unlocking its potential. And you have a truly great leader and royal family. You have a great leader. Because you can have great land, you can have great wealth, you can have oil all over the place, you can have the oil and gas like nobody has. If you don't have a good leader, it doesn't mean a thing, and you see it all the time. There are a lot of places with oil. There are a lot of places with everything that you're supposed to have for success, and they're not successful. But you're successful because of a man that said, you know, my God, this is a special man. So I just wanted to say it's an honor to be with you tonight. And I look forward to coming back and watching some more buildings go up and everything else that you're doing. You're at a level that few people can even think about. And I hope you can help me with the Iran situation because it's a perilous situation and we want to do the right thing. We want to do something that's going to save maybe millions of lives. Because things like that get started and they get out of control. I've seen it over and over again. They go to war and things get out of control. And we're not going to let that happen. So I want to thank you and the Prime Minister and everybody else for the help you've given us, and in turn will do things for you that I think you'll be very, very happy about. And that's more important than anything else, leading a great and safe and prosperous life in a fantastic country. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you. And now, please rise for the
That was US President Donald Trump speaking at the formal dinner being held at the Lusail Palace just north of Doha as part of his state visit to Qatar. He spoke at length about the strong relationship with the country, saying that they have reached their highest levels in history. He also spoke in depth about Iran, saying we're trying to reach an agreement with Iran, but they do have to move faster. He also said he wants to see Iran thrive. Well, we're joined once again by Faisal, Almudahka, who is the editor-in-chief at the Gulf Times and joins me from here in Doha. Faisal, can you just first of all talk us through, if you were able to hear some of that, because I know the audio quality wasn't exactly fantastic of Donald Trump there, what you made of his comments about Iran in particular?
I think, first of all, it was a great speech, and it shows very well that Qatar investment and mediation and promoting peaceful and sustainability, really the message has been there, been there and been advocated for many years. So the result of today, the great relationship or the highest relationship between the US and Qatar is a result of a lot of long hours and an investment between His Highness and between the Prime Minister and the Foreign Affairs and the whole country united on that. So that's what my outtake from this great speech, and it shows that there is a big trust between the leaders, Trump and His Highness. And when trust is there, you listen to your friend advice and on critical things happening in the region. My off-take in the Iranian, at the end of the day, my view that Iran is a close country to us, and we always, our fundamental belief is on peace and dialogue. So we hope this, I'm sure Mr. Trump and the Iranian, they know their way, and I hope we can see a breakthrough on this deal.
Obviously, as we saw there, both leaders have spoken at length about their strong personal relationship. That's clearly a good one, like you were alluding to. Can you just explain how it is set to benefit both countries at this point in time going forward?
I think when you have, when you have a friend, one friend gives you a good advice, even if you disagree with him, but at least you trust his honesty. And I think that's the relationship between Qatar and the United States. Giving an example of Syria, advocating 13 years since the revolution about the Syrian case, the Syrian people, and what happened. Giving the case of Afghanistan, right? Having Taliban here and having the dialogue in Qatar and facilitating that. Having the troops pulling out from Afghanistan and all the logistic and humanity and even the diplomatic support. The American embassy in Afghanistan was moved to Qatar. Families, logistic. So that trust really, built by an action and by a long story together, So I think when he's President Trump, when he say I trust, it comes from a long background, right?
Faisal,
many
thank you.
Incidents that happen. Yeah.
We'll have to leave it there, but we really do appreciate your time and your expertise talking us through all of this. Faisal Almudahka, who is the editor-in-chief at the Gulf Times. Thanks so much.